Welcome to BetUSA, where we don't want you to work harder. We want you to bet smarter. Bob Slovak here with Jason Alexander, the consummate pro. And Jason, man, how did you do last week?
I tell you what, Bob, not a bad week in the NFL. Clipped it at almost 80%. Woo. Our top two plays, Chicago, easy winner. Cleveland, easy winner. We said stay away from Dallas, and I hope everybody did.
No, they
after
didn't.
they got up 30-0, after old Teddy got up 30-0, they'd have been like, what in the heck was the consummate pro talking about? But we were right on all three.
You were right for sure, and like you said, the public, they were on the Cowboys, you know it, and so a lot of people took a hit there. But hey, you didn't. That's the most important thing. And if you're listening to Jason here on BetUSA, you're gonna bet smarter. Here we are.
Not harder.
No, not harder. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into our games. NFL slate. The Ravens at the Dolphins. Ravens giving 7.5. I'm gonna give you a few little trends because you know you like to play the trends. Baltimore has covered the last 9 games against the Dolphins. There's a big play for you there. The Dolphins scoring less than 20 points in 7 of their last 9 games. I like the Ravens.
You have to bet the Ravens now. Like we said, 70% we want to get on the house side. We want to get on Vegas' side. 30% the public's going to win. We're going to ride the public on this game. I know Lamar Jackson came off a big emotional overtime win against the Vikings last week, but I'll tell you this. Miami, just like Houston, they're kind of unbettable right now. I think the Ravens are going to take this. They're not going to fall into the trap game. Lamar Jackson throws for over 300, rushes for 100. Miami just doesn't have the firepower to come back in the second half to even get close to covering. Ravens win by 21. This is a walkaway.
Okay. Mark it down. All right.
Mark 10 in a row against the Dolphins.
All right. Falcons at the Cowboys. Do you jump back on Dallas because the Falcons are getting 8.5?
I hate that this is what our second public play of the week. We are going to, hey, if the Dallas has a fever after last week, the only medicine is the Atlanta defense. Let me tell you that much. Look for Dak Prescott and the boys, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke. They're going to get back on track. This is going to be a rout job. And I don't think Atlanta's offense is really going to be able to hang in there as well. I like a 31-10 game.
Wow.
A 31-10 game. Dallas back on track, moves to 7-2, and back up top, the NFC where they belong.
The only thing that scares me here, because the Falcons have won or covered their last 3 road games. They're on the road, so they've been playing well on the road. Their last 6 games have been decided by a single possession, so they always play close.
They've been playing close games, but unfortunately for the Atlanta Falcons, they've been playing Miami and the Jets and the Giants. So a little bit different. Talent's going to be on the field this Sunday in Dallas.
All right, going with the Cowboys. Give the points. All right, Bills at the Jets. Big number here. Bills giving 12.5.
BetUSA fans, please don't hop on the wagons too soon here. This is our third favorite. It'll probably be our last. But we are playing Josh Allen on the Bills. Allen came out and said it was on me. We played a bad game last week. I do like Josh Johnson if he plays. I just don't know who exactly the Jets are going to play quarterback. It's going to be Mike White, Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
They've got a little firepower there. Josh Johnson's been going yard. Had a wonderful game last week. But I think the Bills' defense, they're going to wake up, circle the wagons, Bills Mafia. This is going to be 35-7. The Jets won't score 10 points. Easy cover for Buffalo.
Trend here, the Bills 13-5-1 against the spread in the last 19. So they've been doing really well against that number. So.
Just a little speed bump last week.
Okay, Browns at the Patriots. Browns giving 2.5. Giving 2 on this one.
Giving 2. It'll probably be a pick 'em depending on Nick Chubb. If Nick Chubb plays, the Browns might be a slight favorite, but we're definitely taking Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. Mac Jones, the highest rated quarterback since week 5. He's going to slide off of that number just a little bit with Cleveland's defense. We talked about it earlier. Baker Mayfield, he is a grinder, getting rid of OBJ. Look for Baker to go deep to Jarvis Landry a little bit. Nick Chubb, if he plays, this is a definite hit.
He's out. He's got COVID.
Is he 100% out?
He's in protocol.
He's in protocol. If Nick Chubb doesn't play, watch this line a little bit. I still like the Browns. If we can catch them at plus points, anywhere from 3 to 4, play the Cleveland Browns because of Baker Mayfield.
All right, there you go. Lions at the Steelers. Lions still winless, 0-8 now, but they're getting 8 points. They seem to be close sometimes. They're 4-4 against the spread. Is this the week?
They played some competitive games. It's a little bit of a toss-up, as they say. I do like Jared Goff. This is more betting against Pittsburgh. I just don't think Pittsburgh's offense is really good enough to blow anybody out. They had a pretty good game against Chicago for a bit, but even the Bears came back, +9, easy cover. That was one of our plays of the week. We're going to ride against Pittsburgh just a little bit. They win the game, but look for Detroit to keep it close. I like Pittsburgh winning by 3 or 4 points. Detroit +8, easy winner.
All right, we got the Jags at the Colts. The Jags getting 10 points here. they got a miracle win last week, so I don't think they're – I don't know. What do you say?
Well, it's an up-and-down deal for Jacksonville. Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence. It's a roller coaster. What Trevor Lawrence is going to show up. Some weeks he looks like the number one pick. Other weeks he doesn't. But that's rookies in the NFL, I think, for the most part. I do like Jacksonville in this spot. Indy's not that explosive. Jacksonville is very hungry. They're playing hard, which is the biggest thing.
Defense is playing really
hard.
My
goodness. Are you kidding me? I look for him to pick off Carson Wentz. A little bit of a trap game for the Colts. I think Jacksonville's defense hangs them in there for a little bit. A couple big throws for Trevor Lawrence. Look for him to cover the 10 very easily. Colts win by 3.
Wow. Okay. All right. Going to get the Jags in the cover there. All right. Saints at the Titans. Saints +3 in this game.
Trevor Siemian, what are they going to do? Can they call Phillip Rivers, please, Bob? Get Rivers or Drew Brees. I'm going to tell you. They talked about Brees coming back out of the booth. They've got a little bit get better quarterback play for the Saints, but we are going to play the Saints +3. This is going to move to 4 before tip, I guarantee you. We're betting on the New Orleans defense.
Okay, because I was about to say, the Titans surprised me by blowing out the Rams. But you think that was just average?
I think it was a couple inopportune plays first half, couple poor throws from Matthew Stafford. Tennessee's hot, no doubt about it. They're one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the NFL. Hot streaks, they end. I like the Saints. I'm not saying if they'll pull the upset. I like betting the 3. I think it'll go to 4. But the New Orleans defense is just too good to get blown out. If they can do anything offensively, they can spring the upset. But we're betting the number here really more than the teams. 2 top-level teams playing. We're going to take the 3 to 4 points. Ride the Saints.
All right. The Bucs at Washington. Bucs they're giving them quite a few points. I've seen 9.5. I've seen 10. What do you see there? I mean, you're liking Washington. I get the feeling.
I don't like Tom Brady in Washington. The Washington football team, Tyler Heineke, if they can figure out a way to score in the red zone, score a couple touchdowns, look for them to possibly spring the upset. I don't think they will, but we're going to ride that 9.5. Watch. Don't play this until Sunday. It'll move past 10 points. I guarantee you. Catch them at 10, 10.5. This is going to be a 3 to 7 point game. But worst case scenario, even if the football team gets down a couple touchdowns, Tyler Heineke has no give up in him. And I'm going to tell you what, they're going to keep pressing that football. Look for the Washington football team to cover the 10.5 against the GOAT.
Well, here's a good sign. These two teams played in the playoffs last season. The spread was 10, Bucs by 10. They won by 8.
They won by 8. And Washington was in that game for a bit. That was the first one of their road warrior push to the Super Bowl for Tom Brady. But I'm telling you, that Washington football team plays hard.
They do. So going with it's the burgundy and yellow.
The burgundy. I want to say Redskins so bad.
Washington football team. So we'll see. He's going with them coming up this weekend. Panthers at the Cardinals. Cardinals 8-1. Panthers getting 10 points. You know what I like about this game? Roughneck legend P.J. Walker is going to start at quarterback for the Panthers. I like the Panthers getting the points.
I do, too. The Panthers defense will hang them in this ball game. One of the most elite defenses in the NFL. And P.J. Walker's been waiting for this Sunday for a long time. He's going to be really good with the football. He's going to protect the football, make a couple big throws down the field to Robbie Anderson. So look out. I don't think they'll quite spring the upset against Arizona, but Carolina's going to cover the 10. This is going to be a ball game.
Walker's got some of that roughneck magic.
Ooh,
I can't wait to see it. I'll be checking out that one for sure. Vikings at the Chargers. The Vikings getting 2.5 in this game. Their defense played pretty well and that lost to Baltimore. So what do you like?
Their defense has played great. Kirk Cousins has had a very, very quietly fantastic year. They've been in a lot of ball games. They're 3-5 and could easily be 2 or 3 games over 500. We're going to play the Minnesota Vikings here. I'd rather wait and get this lineup at 3 or better. The 2.5, it might be a no play, but if we get him at 3, Bob, we're going to hit the Vikings. Look, Justin Herbert, a couple weeks in a row, hasn't looked as sharp as he did the first half of the season. Okay. So I like Minnesota to keep this thing close, maybe pull the upset. We're going to bet that 3 to 3.5 number with the Vikings.
Seahawks at the Packers. Seahawks getting 3.5. The big question here is, do we see Aaron Rodgers in the game?
Is the immunized Aaron Rodgers going to play this week?
Well, I mean, he's only eligible to come back on Saturday. Is he going to be ready to play Sunday? Plus, Russell Wilson's supposed to be back in the game.
He's supposed to be back in the game. Could we get an OBJ sighting for the Seahawks? A lot's going to go down between right now and tip on Sunday for these teams. I like the Seahawks. I think they've got too much moxie. Green Bay has not blown out anybody. They've covered a bunch of games just barely, but they've never really separated from really any teams this year on Sunday. So I like the Seahawks defense to play hard, and I like Russell Wilson coming back. He's going to have a lot of spring in his step. I think he goes deep to DK Metcalf a couple of times. Look out for Seattle to spring this upset on Sunday.
Even if Rodgers is in the game, I don't think he'll be sharp. Love, we saw what he did. So, yeah, I think Seahawks is a pretty good play right there.
It's a strong play for us.
Yep, you got it. All right, Chiefs at the Raiders. Chiefs getting 2.5 on the road there. This is going to be a big. It could be one of those shootout type games.
The Chiefs, it is such a magic show for them to be 5-4 this year. What did you say the line was on this game?
What, 2.5?
2.5. Look, I know Derek Carr, the Raiders have dealt with a lot here over the last 2 or 3 weeks. They played well at home, though, all year. Going to Vegas, the Chiefs, this is our number one play of the week. Ride the Vegas Raiders, baby. Vegas wins by 2 touchdowns. This will not be close. The Chiefs have been getting that by on smoke and mirrors here for the last 3 or 4 weeks, not even close to covering games and barely winning. This is where the old toad gets kissed this Sunday. Derek Carr throws for 330. The Chiefs are ready to go. They move to 5-5, and the Vegas Raiders hit the pedal.
I tell you what, and the one thing I saw, and the over-under on, we don't talk over and unders enough on this, but it's 51.5, and everybody seems to be on the over on that. I mean,
I don't think Kansas City can score 21 points, Bob.
Okay.
I really don't. I've been saying this for the last month on all of our various shows. Kansas City's just not very good. They're not. Their offensive line's not good, and they can't score many points. And if Aaron Rodgers plays last week, they get throttled by the Packers. So they're gonna be in bad shape going out west. They're gonna be in bad shape. Mahomes, look out.
All right, last one. Rams at the 49ers. The Rams giving 3.5 on this one.
This line feels a little bit weird. I really want to pick the Niners in this game. I think the Niners have a great roster and can keep this game close. What kind of bounce back effect is Matthew Stafford going to have after probably his poorest performance of the year? We're going to ride the Niners home dog. I think the Rams win this game by 3. We're going to take the 4 to 4.5 and see if Jimmy G can keep it close. But I like the home team. The Niners defense is solid. I don't think the Rams are going to run away from them.
All right, that'll do it for the NFL picks. What was your percentage again?
Almost 80%. It was about 78% last week, Bob.
I'm telling you, if you're listening to Jason, you're making some money. We want you to bet smarter. That's the motto here on BetUSA. All right, moving over to college football now. We've got a few games to talk about. Kansas at Texas. Kansas right now, 29.5, getting 29. That's just huge.
It's a huge spread. I think a lot of people would want to jump on Texas. I'm not exactly sure after last week and that horrendous performance they had against Iowa State. I'm just not sure Texas can score 30 points. I don't care if they're playing the Woodlands High School or the Belleville Brahmas. I just don't know if they can score 30. This is a line we just have to take the points on. If Kansas can score 14, they're going to cover the ball game. And I don't think Texas has enough heart fight. They looked completely dead last week. So unless something changes in Austin, Texas this week, the Kansas Jayhawks cover this game quite easily.
All right, Houston, U of H Cougars at Temple. Houston giving 24.5, another big number. Temple, always a tough place to play there.
They are. The last couple of weeks, Temple only 2 combined points. They scored 7 and 3. I feel like their season is moving really into the toilet. Historically, I would really be worried about this line. It's a big line at 24.5. I just think the Cougars have too much moxie this year. I think the leadership is very high.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
They've got so many skilled people. I mean, they've been putting up huge numbers and huge points every game. I could see them scoring 35, 40 points easy.
I agree, and I just don't think Temple can score 14. So for that fact, we're going to play a Clayton tune as always, do, and the Houston Cougars to cover the 24.5 at Temple.
All right, I love it. All right, big SEC matchup over in Mississippi. It is A&M at Ole Miss. A&M giving 2.5 on the road.
This is a weird line to me. I know A&M coming off a big win against the Auburn Tigers at Kyle Field. The defense, unbelievable performance, held Auburn to only 3 points. They're not going to do it this week at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin and Matt Corral, who's looking to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Corral's going to put on a show. I think this will be a wonderful ball game. I like Ole Miss 31-24. Take a peek at that over-under, see where that settles in at on Saturday afternoon. But we're going to ride Ole Miss and Matt Corral, Lane Kiffin. They're going to win by 7.
Oh, wow. Okay. TCU at Oklahoma State. Gary Patterson's out. The Horned Frogs playing some pretty good ball. They're getting 13.5.
They're getting 13.5. What I really like here is the over. The over-under, I believe, is right around 54.5. This is going to go well over that number.
Yeah.
Hey, because of redshirt freshman, Chandler Morris came on the scene last week, looked wonderful, upsetting Baylor, threw for 3 touchdowns. He can move around, has a good arm. Look, Oklahoma State's defense just isn't that good. I like this to be around a 36-28 game. If you want to double pop shop it, let's do the Horned Frogs and the over, but our over is our biggest play on Saturday.
Love it, love it. All right, number 1 ranked Georgia at Tennessee. Bulldogs giving up 21 points. This seems like an easy bet.
It seems like it. I do like Tennessee. I mean, the Vols, they played Alabama pretty competitive. Tennessee has really put up some points in the SEC this year. I really like their offense. They're fast. They throw the ball downfield. Can they do that against Georgia? Nobody else has. No. Remains to be seen. That 20.5, I think, is a very competitive line. But we're going to go and walk out on a very, very, very skinny limb here, Bob. Okay. And we're going to play the Volunteers. If we catch them over 21, we're going to hammer them. But I like Tennessee. If we can get it to 21 to 22.5, this is going to be about a 3-touchdown game. Let's go Vols at home, baby.
Just to cover, man. That would be the victory for sure, for sure.
Might need a late touchdown in that game. Grandma might have to crack that back door for Tennessee to cover, but I like the action.
All right, there's your college picks for you. Mark them down, make some money here. Don't work harder, bet smarter here on BetUSA. We're going to close the show with a little bit of history. Here. We like to look back on the big bets, who won some big money, and how they did it. You're not a parlay guy, are you?
Not a big parlay guy. If you're going to have some fun with your buddy, a little fun with your buddies and bet $5 or $10, no big deal. You're not going to make money over the course of the year betting all parlays, but to have a little fun, of course.
Like I always say when I'm at a sports book, there's no window for 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4. So that's why parlays aren't the smart bet. But back in 2015, a young lady, I'm looking for her name here.
Was it Betty?
No. Oh, there it is. It's Taylor Polia. She placed a 15-team NFL parlay.
No chance.
Yeah, who would think?
Unless you're watching BetUSA. Yeah. No chance.
So she placed the bet. $5, $5, whatever. So she got 20-1 odds on it. If she got every one, she bet 9 favorites, 5 underdogs, and 1 over and under. Guess what? She hit every single one of them. The story is she didn't even know what the point spread was. It was the only second bet she'd ever made since moving to Las Vegas. After the first slate of games on Sunday, she thought she lost because she didn't understand the point spread.
Oh, my goodness.
But somebody explained it to her. She won. She ends up winning $100,000.
I'm glad she didn't throw that ticket away.
Exactly. Didn't rip it up at 3:00.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Oh, my goodness. And I tell you, my gambling's been going on for so long, and that's just the fun of it. And I always joke with my buddies, and they go, a couple games tonight. We've got the Golden Flashes playing who knows what. And I say, they're always going to watch this game. I said, you want to make it interesting? Throw a couple bucks on there, and I guarantee you'll pay attention.
Put a little bit of juice on it. You're going to be riding. You're going to be on the edge of your seat all day long. We know that. All right. So once again, our motto: don't work harder, bet smarter. Jason's going to help you win some money right here on BetUSA. Thanks for joining us, Bob Slovak, Jason Alexander. We'll see you.